Well, my slight and slim audience, welcome once again to Don Stacey's video channel. And this time I'm going to talk about what has been referred to several decades ago as the death of the novel. Now, they start talking about the death of the novel in Europe, I would say in the late 1950s, early 1960s. And discussion of that death proceeded apace for quite some time after that. And the word got to the United States finally, and thinkers and cultural critics and novelists and literary critics in the United States took up the death of the novel as well in the 1960s. Was it possible, they asked, to do anything new that had not already been done before in the novel? Was any innovation still remaining, potentially, in the novel? In other words, if there were no further innovation possible in the novel, which by its own name issues the sense of something new, and at this time, well then, it's dead. If it's not growing, it's dead. Isn't that the case? If it's not growing, it's descending into death. That's the law of organic life. Well, like it or not, all literary artifacts that can be referred to as novels are organic, developed artifacts, as I said. They develop out of the mind of the writer over a period of time. Develop in one way or another. They might develop according to a plan, or they might develop out of no plan at all. And they develop, in the latter case, under their own interior laws of design, you might say. And if you haven't already deduced the fact that I'm opposed to the idea of the death of the novel, well, then I'll state it now. I am opposed to it. I don't believe that it's ever happened or that it ever would happen. For the simple matter that as times change, so do the minds of the various writers who present those times to us in timely books. But there are some people who suggest and have suggested that this period of time under which we were suppressed by the pandemic and so on, that this is a harbinger of the end of days, as in the Bible, the end of days, the apocalyptic end of time. Now, how many people actually believe that an apocalyptic end of time is actually going to occur? And of all those people, how many of them believe that it will occur very, very soon? Well, I don't know. I'm not a sociologist. I haven't done the necessary sampling of, opinion to establish that particular statistical fact. But knowing the minds of Americans, minds all steeped in religion, well then, it's safe to say that a lot of people believe in that stuff. And because they believe in it, the films that come out of Hollywood, that pour out of Hollywood, pander to the sentiments of the people with those ideas. And the people they're pandering to are the people who are brought up with Christian notions. Because many of these horror films offer, a bit of twist on Christian theology, you see. And they do this because they know that if they do that, they will have a receptive audience at hand. Oh, most receptive audience. The American audience for film is most receptive to these Hollywood horror films that allude to religious kinds of arrangements or situations or expectations. So, well, just how much does religion play a part in American life? Well, since I'm only an amateur and certainly not an expert in cultural history or cultural sociology or anything else along those lines, I can only foist off my opinion. And from what I've seen and well, I would say deduced over a long period of time. After all, I'm 69 years old. I would say that a strong majority of Americans are religious-minded, and they do have these fundamental notions of what happens after one's dead, and so on. Now, what do most people believe in this country as to the experience or non-experience of some person who has just died? Now, some person who has just died, well, what happens to them? Do they subsist somehow in some other dimension? In heaven?